Okay. I'll do this. So welcome to Pilates Yoga Fusion. And today it will be about a 40-minute standing warm-up, mat work, and then ending flow. So I hope you enjoy the class. So we'll start in parallel. Arches lifted, bones stacked, shoulders down. Feel the ease of those shoulders as they float down your back and let your head float upward. Let's start with some simple breathing. You can close your eyes or keep them open. So it will be inhale up, exhale down. So try breathing in, slowly filling the lungs. Pause with your arms up. And then as you press the air out through the heels of your hands and empty your lungs completely, bring your arms down slowly. Just 2 more times. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Inhale, exhale. And then we'll go from here into a hip hand. So taking our hips back, long spine, placing our hands on our thighs, rolling our shoulders down onto the back ribs, standing cat-cow. So exhale, tuck the tail under, scoop the abdominals, fold the ribs, let the head fall gently forward, lengthen through the spine, tip that tail up and look up, and then again scoop, and lengthen, and scoop, lengthen, and one more, scoop, and lengthen, and then fold over your legs. Take a big breath into your back, noticing the ribs expand side to side and up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, draw those abs up and in and stack your spine 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's circle those shoulders 3 times, continuing to soften the tightness that we tend to get up in the upper trapezius. There we go. All right. And let's warm up our hips a little bit. Walking into a wide position. Float those arms up. Make sure the shoulder blades stay down. We're just going to shift from side to side. So you get a chance to bring some blood and oxygen and heat into the hips, the knees, and the ankles. And then stand center and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then bring your feet together in a little V. Feel the wrap of the legs here, the rotators firing in, close those ribs in the front and continue to melt the shoulders down. So let's do some lateral side bending to create space. So your right arm will go up and side bend. And lift. So you may be opposite of me, since I'm doing my left and you're doing your left, but you can just follow along and do the same side as I am. 1 more. Yep. And great. And then come back to that parallel and let's do some rotation. I call this the maypole. You simply rotate and wrap your arms around your body. Nice, it's easy. You're breathing, easy, even breaths. The arms are floppy. The legs are strong. The head rotates with the spine. 1 more, here we go. And we stop. Final thing, bring your chin to your chest. Lift it up and do some little nose, thinking about continuing to soften the upper trapezius. And then take your ear to your shoulder, sweep this arm behind, open from this opposite shoulder and up, other shoulder, other ear to shoulder, and this arm behind and up. Great. From the back of your mat, once again, roll down. We rolled up before, but this time we'll roll fully down and walk our hands forward as we come to our knees into a table position. So have your hands wide enough that you can feel the wrap of the shoulder blades. Tailbone is back, crown of the head is forward, the ribs are closed here. And we'll do some half cats to start, which is like a little, wait, maybe we should call it a puppy tail. It's instead of a cat. You're going to tuck your tail under, working from the waist down, and then lengthen to neutral spine. So it's a small motion, stretching around the low back and scooping deeply the low abdominals, the lowest ones. The transverse is working deeply. And you scoop and you tuck. And you come back. So the upper body is quiet for the most part. Fix your gaze somewhere in front of your hands. And two more. Good. And one more. Now hold neutral spine. Take your right leg behind you. Tuck those toes. Press into the heel. So you're really opening up the back of the leg and back behind the knee. Shift your weight forward, pull that knee in and press to the heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross it over to the left. Toes are tucked. You push into the heel in this position, and then you look over your left shoulder. So it's a really, really wonderful lateral side bend. And then bring this knee back under the hip. Widen the knees and push your weight back. Child's pose, taking some pressure off your wrist. Rotate your thumbs out. Breathe into your back. Bring your hands back down. Come back to table. I'm going to scoot up just a little more. Again, shoulders over wrists, hands wide enough that you can wrap those shoulders blades towards the spine. And we will do the stretch. We've already done your little half cat or puppy tuck. And now we're stretching the back of the right leg. I'm sorry, the left leg. And forward. Lift it up, tuck toes, press into your heel. And look, nice stretch. And then bring this back. And go into your full cat-cow. I believe I forgot to do the kicks on that leg. And up, and scooping around, and up. So full cat-cow, one more. And great, and let's do fair treatment. Let's shift our weight to the right, pull the left knee in and press out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it there and lift your opposite hand, your right arm, balance and hold neutral spine. Bring the hand down and the knee down, and let's do the balance on the other side. A little funny flow, but I think we've worked all the parts of the body equally so far. And then hand down and knee down. Walk your hands forward into a knee down plank. Pull those shoulders down your back. Have the inner thighs pressed towards each other. And do 6 half push-ups and then lower to your stomach. So it's halfway down and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and lower down. I need to wiggle back. Okay, bring your hands into little cobra position. Lift the shoulder heads, And then inhale, lift up. Exhale, stretch and lower down. Inhale, up. Little baby cobras, focusing on the upper back muscles. Down, the legs are long. They're energetic. Breathe it. Stretch, lower face and nose to mat. And then up and down. One more. Up to hold. And then hover your hands. Squeeze those shoulder blades in. Broad across the collarbones. Head is a continuation of your spine. And down. Okay. Come up into Sphinx position. And now your back bend is a bigger back bend if it's fine on your low back. Your collarbones continue to open. Your legs are still long. You can split them just a little bit and slide your tailbone down so that your lower back lengthens. The stay here is perfectly fine. If you want to push to a little bit higher back bend, you can. And you hold and you breathe. And then lower down. Okay, so let's sweep those arms back and split the legs just a little more. Keeping the hands down, let's warm up the back of the legs slightly. So lift that right leg up, keeping the right hip point down, and then lower. And left leg up, and then lower. Right leg up, and then lower. And left leg up, and lower. So now we'll put the lift of the legs with the back lifting up for a locust pose. So everything is nice and long. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you float those legs up, open the chest, the arms come up, and you hold. Try not to overlift your chin or drop your head. Let the head be a continuation of your spine. And lower down. And one more. So inhale to prepare. Exhale. And down. Bring your hands back to the push-up position. Push your weight back. Widening child pose once again. And then a lateral stretch once again. This time different than in the table position. You just walk your hands to one side. As you press the opposite hip, the side you're walking your hands away from, towards your heel. Come through that middle and go to the other side. And then come through the middle and bring yourself up. So you will need a couple of props. You will need 2 yoga blocks. We may not use both of them, but I always have 2 on hands. I'd like one up towards the top of your mat for your head. You'll need a band of some sort or a strap or a towel if you do not have a stretchy band. And your shoulders are down and and you're sitting really tall. Inhale here, exhale, just like we did in table, you do that low scoop. That's how you initiate this. And then you roll off of those sits bones, stretch your lower back to the mat, and then come right back up, stacking your spine. And then again, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Hold it. Float those arms up. Hold it. Float those arms down. Hold it. And then lower all the way down. I'm not going to use the block quite yet. You can lay your band or towel or whatever you have as a prop on your hips. We're using it just as to give us feedback, tactile feedback. So you sort of draw this strap or band across your hips. Your shoulders press down, your ribs are closed, your feet are in fairly close. So a little bit of the bridge series. So inhale here. Exhale, lift those hips using the resistance or feedback from whatever's on top of your hips. Roll those shoulders open Keep your legs parallel. Feel the energy reach out your kneecaps. And then see if you can roll down one vertebrae at a time. Spine articulation. And lengthen. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift those hips. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, roll down. And one more time. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, roll down. And finish. Great. So I'm going to bring that yoga block under my head now. Hug my right knee to my ribs. If you have tender knees or cranky knees, hold back here like this. Okay, instead of putting pressure on the knee like that. You can also just choose to hold it with the right hand and take your left hand out here. This is a really nice version. So that this sort of allows the upper body to be grounded, and the strength of the one arm is enough to bring your knee in really close. Then draw that knee out sort of towards your armpit and feel that. And then switch, take it with your left arm and roll. So you want to stack your left hip on top of your right hip. So there's not tugging around the sacrum, but it's a rotation that gets the hip and also through the ribs as you reach the right arm to the right and you look right. The left leg underneath here is very straight. You really want to feel this through the waist a little bit into the upper part of the hip, a little bit up into the ribs. And come back to the middle and let's switch legs. So I'll hold it with my left hand. And breathe. On the exhales, have the intent to feel the activity in the abs as you exhale, that they contract and they come in to support the back and create a deep core strength. And then draw that leg to your armpit a little bit. So you're getting the adductor group in here on the inner thigh and in also the hip socket, warming that up. And then we'll switch. So now I'm holding the left knee with my right hand. My left hand goes out to the side. I roll and I look to the left. And I breathe. And I smile. Okay. Drop the hips down. Now put the soles of the feet together and knit these ribs together. Zip up deep along your stabilizers internally. See if you can feel these obliques narrow like an internal girdle. So there's a lot of activity going on through the core and the legs are getting the chance to open and stretch up into the hip sockets. One of the things I see a lot when I teach this simple exercise is the weight of the legs pulls people into this sort of back extension and the ribs fan open. We're not looking for that. We're looking for the power to be here, creating a stable torso, and then open up into the hips and breathe into this area. Take your arms into a T or over your head if you like that. 2 more big full breaths here. Okay, and then walk your feet to the outside edge of the mat and knock your knees in so they rest against each other. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. This is protraction, retraction. The legs are in what's called constructive rest position. Inhale and reach for the ceiling. Then with straight elbows, exhale, wrap those ribs in towards your spine and tighten the abs and the ribs, front ribs down. 2 more times. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale here. Then give yourself a hug. Notice which arm's on top. Take 2 breaths here. Keep your mind involved. Keep trying to follow your breath and notice things within your own movement patterns. Reach up, and then the other arm comes on top in your hug. 2 breaths here. Great. Okay. Reach over and find whatever band or strap that you have. And bring your legs back to parallel. Put the band on your foot. Right foot would be nice. 2 pieces together. Stretch your left leg. Let's just give ourselves a little stretch here. And then move the leg down for a minute and then come back into your full stretch. This is a simple, active stretch. 1 more. Full stretch. So I like to do stretches like this throughout my classes. And when we know we're going to a standing pattern, take this leg to the right, a standing pattern, it's nice to make sure we've got the legs opened up and ready to move into these warriors and into some of the positions that we enjoy getting ourselves into when we're upright. Okay. And let's just bring that left leg up to join the right leg. Flip your hands around so they face each other. And bend your knees. Exhale, push those legs out. Curl up and look at your toes. And then come right back down. Exhale here. Right back down. And this is 3. And 4. And 5. And 6, just 2 more. 7. And 8. Take that right leg out, leave your left leg up in the band or strap. Take your right arm out to the side, a little bit of active stretching, so move the leg down. And then breathe it towards you, nice and long, as straight as you can. And move it down. And then towards you. And then again down. And towards you. And this next one will hold. Bring it towards you and hold. All right, so open your band. And the right leg wants to join the left this time, but this time, instead of being in parallel, make that little V position that you made when we were standing so that your heels are together and your toes are apart. So when you look at your feet, there's the shape of a V between your feet. Your knees are open, and if you look at the space between your legs in this position, it sort of looks like a diamond. Okay, the shins are parallel to the floor. The palms of your hands holding the band are turned facing each other, Exhale, press out, squeeze those legs together. Squeeze them. You can curl up if you want or stay flat and bend. So I curled up for the last one. This one I think I will stay flat and work on the upper part of the abs, getting them involved. And then bend, and then out again. And bend, and 4. And you can go a little lower if you can control it without going into your back. And in, and 5. In, and 6. And bend, breathing, 7. And 8. And great. So take this band off of your legs and lay it aside. Bring your legs to tabletop. Everything's coming from here, remember that. Stretch those legs up. Now we did stretches of variation, there are many variations there. We're going into Pilates scissor legs, which is an active stretch. So bring one leg towards you, double pulse. And you can curl up and look at your knees if you want. Or you can leave your head on the yoga block. One more. And then hug your knees. Press your back firmly to the mat. You can rock back and forth. You can draw circles, which is really nice, giving your low back a chance to get a little massage. You can go the other direction. Okay, and then you could put one leg down and roll up with one knee, or you can roll up with both knees in your hands and come around. Okay, so we're going to do a little seated twist. So flex those feet here. And let's have you cross. I'll mirror what you're probably doing with this exercise. So you'll take your right leg across, sit up nice and tall. Use your left hand, pull the knee to the midline. Take your right hand back and lift your spine. So you're still looking straight ahead. You're trying to elongate your spine as much as you can and pull your shoulders down. Inhale here. Exhale, wrap the ribs first, then the chest, and then the head. You look back over your back shoulder. And you stay as tall as you can. Now, if your shoulders are very loose and or you know this exercise and you want to do the yogi hand here, you're very welcome to. My shoulders do not particularly like that. And I like to get a really good stretch to my low spine, so this seems to work for me. And come center. Great. Let's do the other side. So this time it will be your left leg over your right. You'll use your right hand to bring the knee to the midline as much as you can. And this foot is at your knee or slightly above if you're flexible enough for that. And then your kickstand hand can be here. Melt those shoulders down. Inhale. Exhale, twist waist, ribs, shoulders, and the head looks backwards over. Over your back shoulder, you gaze. And then come center. And before we stand up, let's just put the soles of our feet together and bring yourself as far forward as you can, wherever that happens to be. Try to open these hips. One more breath. Okay. So let's just get ourselves up to our feet. I'm going to put a yoga block on each side of the top of my mat, which we may need. And bring yourselves up to standing. So just a little short vinyasa or flow. So set those shoulders on your back. You're in mountain pose. Feel the fullness of your feet, all 10 toes. And then drop that tail down and lift the ribs and lift the abs and knit the ribs. Try to feel this whole midline of energy. Shoulders, of course, are down on your back ribs. Head floats up. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, flat spine. Forward fold. Reverse swan, we're going to add a little back bend here. So the hips come forward, arms come up, little back bend, and then prayer hands. Drop those hands down, breathe it up. Swan dive. Third position, flat spine. Forward fold. Reverse. And down. Okay. From here, with the hands in prayer, I'll turn to face you so you can have a better idea what I'm doing. Okay. You're going into chair position. And chair has a narrow base. I like my feet touching for this one, and my knees come pretty close. Shoulders are down. So here you are in your chair position, but you're facing this way. Okay. And then let's come back up. Shoot those arms up, steeple-like fingers, long from your ankle bones to your fingertips. And then drop your left arm and side bend. And you can look up into your elbow and lift up. And then drop the right, side bend. Look up into the elbow. Look front. Bring the arms up, little back bend, and then draw those hands down. So I'm going to go back this way. So we'll drop those arms, we breathe it up. We swan dive forward a little tiny bit quicker, breathing 1 breath per action. Step your right foot back to crescent toe warrior. Breathe your way up. Try to have your shoulders down, back leg straight, you're up on your toes, heel is lifted, front knee tracks above your second and third toe, do not let that knee roll in. Feel like everything's coming from here out. One more breath here. Maybe take it into a tiny back bend before you fold. And then step that foot forward. Third position, flat spine. Forward fold. Reverse swan. And hands down. And we have another leg to do. So we go up and swan dive. Lengthen it out. Forward fold. Other leg back. Now it's not on the balance beam. It's straight back from your hip. Press into that front foot. Breathe your way up. And balance. Shoulders down, back leg straight. Steady mind. Pick a drishti to look at as something to focus yourself on. If that makes sense. Little back bend. And unfold. Step forward. reverse swan, and down. Okay, back into chair. Good. Send those arms up. Keep the weight back towards the heels. Toes are light, abs are lifted. Fold over your legs. Step your right foot back, this time all the way like you are on a balance beam. Okay, so this front heel dissects the back arch. You cartwheel the arms and you land in warrior two. And let's turn our palms up and see if we can melt those shoulders down our back just a little more. Rotate the hands back down. Look front, breathe. Feel the power. That's why they're called warriors. I just love them. They make you so strong, not only in your legs, but your balance improves. Your sense of where you're working, the core improves. Flip this front arm, straighten the front leg, back leg goes right down the back arm goes down the back leg, sorry, and backwards. You're just reversing it. Then rebend. And now let's go the other way to side angle. Flip that arm, place it on your thigh, and reach this arm like an arrow shooting out of your shoulder, straight there. So side angle can be done with a bind, can be done various ways, but this is just a nice way to integrate it into a short little flow. And lift it up. And then cartwheel the back arm, pop the back heel, and step it forward. Third position, forward fold, reverse, and down. Okay, I should have pulled my hair up, I think, and I will pull my shirt down. And here we go. Left side. So we drop it down, we come up, and we swan dive. Third position, forward fold. Soften those knees, step your left foot back. Okay, so I'm actually going to pivot around so that I'm open. So my left foot is back. Remember, this is warrior two, so it's straight back from the heel here. Cartwheel around, and you land again. Good. Let's turn our palms up, melt our shoulders down, and then return the palms, but keep the shoulders down and feel the power. Watch this knee. Feel all of your foot, including the 5 toes in the front and the 5 toes in the back. Breathe fully, in and out through the nose. Okay, flip this front hand, straighten the front leg, rest the back hand on the back leg, up and over. And then back, warrior two, flipping this arm and placing it on the front thigh, side angle. Back up, cartwheel, step forward, and this time, roll your way up, one vertebrae at a time. And set those shoulders on your back and turn to face me if you are sideways, and I will face you. All right, so we're doing great on time. That was the basic flow that I wanted for you. So what we'll do here is use our band just for some simple finishing of warming up, working on the leg strength and our balance. So you grab your band or strap, whatever you have. Okay. And hip hinge. And then come up. Okay. So we'll do one more of those, then we're going to add a little balance. Hip hinge. And up. And then go into that hip hinge, hold it. Now lift your abs, melt your shoulders, get yourself organized. And then transfer your weight to your left and lift up. There we go. Bring it here if you want. And then back and down. And shoulders down, circle. And then we go back to that hip hinge, hold it, breathe. Fan out your toes. Shift as you lift. If you can, that's the challenge. Hold and breathe. Here is fine. Here is fine if you want. Foot down. Circle. Okay, nice. Let's take the band behind our back. Slide the shoulders down and lift your chest. Fold forward. Soften your knees if your hamstrings are tight. And then slide the band side to side a little bit, just a little bit, so you get a little motion in the shoulders. Bring the band down. You can leave it on the floor behind you. Tense your fingers, pedal your feet. And then bend your knees deeply so you come into a squat. Feel the stretch in your calves. Lift your hips. And do that one more time. Bend deeply. And lift. And final stacking of your spine here, one vertebrae at a time. Circle. One more circle of those shoulders. Circle. Arms come up. And you open. And you're done for today. Hopefully this will help your day or your evening go well in our short little 40-minute or so yoga Pilates workout. Thanks for joining me.